Hey guys, here we are again. Video number 12 of Cultivating Confidence. We're here at the start of where I'm going to run. I'm just sitting in my car. Kind of not feeling it today, honestly. I don't really want to be here. But I made commitments to myself, so here I am. Once again. Just kind of not in the running mood, honestly. On the bright side, though, the sun is out. It's pretty cold. I don't know exact degrees, but I think it's below 10 at least, and it's pretty cold. But doesn't look too bad out, besides, it being single-digit temperatures. I don't know. Just wanted to get a pre-video before I do it. I'm going 10 miles today. So trying to ease myself back into these longer distance runs. And just not feeling it mentally today. I know it makes it a little bit more challenging when the mind's not in it. So trying to jumpstart it with the video here. And just to let everyone in on kind of the thought process. Usually I don't do a beginning video, just a middle and a ending video. But I think it's important to capture some of these low feelings too. Like to know it's not always like rainbows and sunshine, and I don't always enjoy running as much as it may seem contrary to popular belief. I'm not a huge fan of running. I just like the benefits that come from it. Well, I better get after it, or else I might not do it. Even though I'm sitting here, it's gonna get done. All right, I will see you in the halfway video. Okay, so update. I didn't make it halfway. I made it 3.5 miles. Goal is to do 10. But I started feeling pressure and tension in my right knee where the IT band issues have been happening. And I really gave myself an extra mile to really ponder it, to feel it out, make sure I wasn't just quitting on myself and generating excuses to quit running. It might be still, I don't know. But I decided to call it at 3.5 miles. Mostly on the facts that I have a little over 2.5 months to get myself ready and right for a marathon, and I don't want to push myself and break myself 2 months away, 2.5 months away. I really just want to ease into healing, start getting back my IT band health, slowly but surely. I do want to increase my mileage and make sure I'm still capable after all this time off, which I was pretty satisfied with my pace today. 8:19 pace for 3.5 miles, which I try to hit the first 5 miles at 8:25 average pace. So I was above average. So I know I'm still there cardio-wise. I definitely need to, if I'm not going to be doing as much cardio, I really need to be hitting the nutrition side a lot harder than what I am and have been. So I think that's where I'm going to refocus my efforts for my big push. What else? I really didn't feel like running today. And I'm still filling out if this IT band issue and me stopping at 3.5 miles is a product of that. Even though once I got into the groove about 2 miles, I was feeling pretty good. It was really cold. Just being out 3.5 miles, my lips already feel super chapped. I didn't have a face mask on or anything. And my lips are feeling it. My elbows are cold, my knees are cold, my hands are cold. right around places with no muscle to keep warm. But yeah, really, really intentionally focusing efforts more towards health, making sure I'm listening to my body, not just pushing through because I have this goal I want to hit, which the goal is important to me. But like I think it was Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face, and the enemy has to say so. And in this case, running is my enemy. The miles are my challenge, are my obstacle. And unfortunately, I do have to listen to and adapt and pivot based off of the information I gather and the intel I gather from the opposition, which in this case would be the miles and how they impact my body, particularly my IT band and my knee. Like I mentioned, I'm just not trying to hurt myself or break myself, like really long term or permanently. I would rather stop now and slowly build into it. Keep doing low miles, like 3 to 5 miles, and fill those miles out until I can complete a full run and recovery, and like not feel any pressure or tension or discomfort any longer. And I do need to do some more research in IT band issues. I don't know if this is, now that it's been damaged, it's very prone to re-injury, because what I do understand, IT bands are like rubber bands. So if it's just a tension point, rubbing friction, I think that could heal easy. If it's getting overstretched and overworking the area, I don't want to damage it, because like a rubber band, if you overstretch and continue to put pressure on that area, it could make that area loose and not rebound and be resilient back and operate the way it was meant to. And I get one body, my life, and I'm not trying to break it at before I even hit 30. This thing's still got another 50, 60 years in my mind. 80 or 90, somewhere in there is where I think I'll go. But yeah, so I gotta think about the long game, the end game, the short-term game. It does feel a little disheartening to have mile goals in my head and want to push through, and then have to be honest with myself and stop short of my daily goal. But if doing that, in a sense, helps me understand my long-term goal is more important. Like even the marathon, yes, I will still attempt the marathon regardless of where I'm at. But I'm also not so wrapped up with the result of completing a marathon that it takes over the real true reason why I'm doing this work. And it is to build confidence in myself, to stick to my commitments, to show up on the days I say I was going to show up. And yeah, I only got 3.5 out of 10 miles, but it's still 100% win in my big purpose and mission and goal of showing up for myself, sticking to my commitments. And I told myself I'd stop staying up so late with the kids, playing games and stuff, and lost track of time. We were up way too late last night. But I still got out here, still woke up on time. I know I'm going to hit a wall midday and probably going to need a nap. So, but it's stuff I'm doing to myself. And that might have been part of the issue with the knee too, is I didn't get well rested enough. I don't know how rest, hydration, and nutrition affect IT bands, but I know those three things do ultimately play a factor into rest and recovery of the body in general. So, I mean, they got to be a factor in some way, shape, or form. I definitely need to hone in on that. I enjoy spending time with the kids. I don't get to see them throughout the week right now since I'm working 2 hours away. So when I do come back and see them on the one day I do get them, I do like making the most of it and stretching out every minute. sometimes like time does get away. Yeah, so glad I got out here, glad I showed up, glad I ran. Like I said, mildly disheartening that I didn't make it all the miles I wanted to make, but giving myself grace and keeping in perspective the ultimate goal of showing up for myself, sticking to my commitments. I'm still getting a check mark in that category. So I count it as a win. Maybe some of you agree, maybe some of you don't, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being able to disagree with this and being able to understand that in one perspective I did win, but in another perspective it is a failure, and I'm honest with myself enough to admit that, and I accept that side too. I accept the perspective of I did fail, but I also accept the perspective that, you know, it's a big accomplishment and win for myself, and in a different perspective. I give myself that grace to, like one of my counselors once said I was seeing. She said, you gotta learn to give yourself the grace to fail forward. At that time, like, a lot of good information and a lot of good knowledge. I didn't really understand it, but the more I started to experience it, the more I started to experience it, the more I started to understand it. And it has been important to allow myself to not always be 100% perfect. Get out of this all or nothing mentality. Show up and allow that showing up to be a win, because it's progress. Showing up is progress. Showing up consistently and continually, that's the focusing on the process and the journey instead of being results oriented, which is ultimately how you build a system in yourself of commitment, of self-love, of self-worth. You start to trust in yourself, and that's a big thing for me. I lacked confidence and trust in myself because I wasn't sticking to my own commitments. I had no self-boundaries. I'd want things for myself, and I would I'd sacrifice those things for the sake of, someone else, a different thing that came up, quick, fast, fun thing that came up, and I would go do it and sacrifice my challenging and bigger mission and goal things I wanted, and it would feel like it would shave a sliver of my soul off. And eventually doing that and not continuing to commit myself and giving up on myself, I found myself lost. I didn't really know who I was. So again, part of this is a huge journey of finding myself, of gaining my own confidence back, my own trust in myself back, of building up my own self-worth, and really being able to say I love the person I am and who I am. But so I'll end it there. Proud of myself today, regardless of only making 3.5 of 10 miles. So I need to go eat well, hydrate well, and hit this massage gun. So until next video, thank you guys for being here. I'll see you next time.